is WTF Nation Radio.
Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
The horse, with beauty unsurpassed, strength immeasurable, and grace unlike any other, still remains humble enough to carry a man upon its back. When a service member or first responder takes an oath, he or she has mentally and physically committed themselves with self-sacrifice. From the front lines abroad to the very streets you live on in America, they protect. This oath is non-refundable and it is lifelong. Facing unimaginable dangers and unseen scars, these grounds are a place to recover and face any challenges head-on. As veterans and first responders ourselves, we know that battle all too well. From a simple talk with a friend on horseback to an entire debrief in the barn, this sanctuary has seen recovery take place time and time again. No hour of life is wasted that is spent in a saddle. The way we approach change isn't a new phenomenon. This animal has been with humans over 5,000 years. If you've ever been around a horse for long enough, you'll feel that thing, that electric trust. In that moment, nothing else is in your mind. When they turn into you, it's like the world disappears. We harness that moment to build skills off of. Repurposing requires flexibility, adaptability, and the willingness to challenge assumptions and conventional thinking. This approach can be applied to many areas in life, including business, education, and personal growth. To ride a horse is to fly without wings. This lesson and skills learned at war horses will help reintegrate back into daily life. You'll learn coping mechanisms, improved communication skills, trust and confidence that will help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. These tools can be used every day to navigate life and take on many challenges. This may involve practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, improving communication with loved ones. Transitioning back to society is hard on your own. And when you're at war horses, you're family. And families solve problems together.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
To make a long story short, I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass. And it's 24 hours later and I ain't find none yet.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, this is President Joe Biden, and you're listening to Friday Night Freedom with Koz and that lady.
Which direction would you like us to face?
Oh, you better face the front, sir, because if you're looking at the passengers and trying to fly, they get scared.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Oh, how do I work this thing? Welcome to Friday Night Freedom. My name is Koz, and up there, frozen, is Mom. Hopefully she's with us, but yeah, we're here. Today's the 7th day of June, 2024, and we're here. It's Friday, and we're going to kick off this weekend great. Top of the hour, we're going to have, like in 30 minutes, we're going to have Demun Jones here. Dude, this dude's legit, man. Not only does he have a fantastic beard, he's got some very, very kick-ass talent. In the realm of, well, let me tell you a little bit about Demun Jones. He's a rapper, he's a singer, he's a songwriter, and an independent artist. And he's gonna be with us here in about a half an hour, hopefully. And we're gonna talk about things and stuff, man. He's got a lot of, he's been doing this stuff a long time, doing the music thing for a very long time, and he's extremely good at it. And he looks like a whole hell of a lot of fun. So he's gonna be here. Mom, hopefully she'll be popping back in just a second. She's been having a couple of internet issues. She was out all day today at the Golf Classic for Back the Heroes Rumble. And I've got a video to share with you. I don't want to share it without her. So we're going to wait for Mom to pop back in here in just a little bit. How's everybody doing, man? We're sitting, let me see. So I'm in north central Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we're now solidly entrenched in the 90s and stuff. We had rain for a very long time. We probably got about 10 or 12 inches of rain over the last week or 10 days or so. And it caused me a couple of problems, man. It caused me a couple of problems with my house. So Sunday night, as I was going to bed, I hung up. I talked to my parents every Sunday night. I hung up the phone, and then I went and I got my bottle of water, or as in the UK they say, a bottle of water, and I turned down the air conditioner because I like to sleep like at 68, 69 degrees, and then I went and laid down. And I'm laying down, and I'm just kind of drifting off to sleep, and I realized, why hasn't my air conditioner kicked on? So I got back up, I looked at the control panel, and it's set correctly. And the temperature creeped up a degree. I'm like, hell no, this is a brand new AC system. So I'm like, man, this is screwed up, man. So I got, of course, I'm a technician, went and got my multimeter, and I'm checking things out, and I realized that one of the power that comes into a house is 240 volts, and it's split up. So you use half the tap for one set of 120 and the other half for the other 120. So I checked the power coming out, going into my air conditioner. It was only 120 volts. The AC is not going to run on 120 volts. So of course I'm going to sleep. It's too late to do anything. So the next day, I went to work, called the AC guy. I'm like, something's going on. So I called the AC guy, and he's just like, no, everything is fine with the system. It's the service to the house that's bad. So I didn't, she changed again. You're on the phone now, aren't you?
Yeah, my computer just decided it was not going to work.
So I'm talking about the electrical issues I had. So I'm going to try to talk and get your video back. if that's okay with you.
Oh yeah, I mean.
So anyway, we determined that the power coming to my house was deficient. There was only one. I only had 120 volts coming to the house, so one of the lines
messed up?
was broken. So somewhere between the power pole and my house, there was an open. So that Monday night, the power company came out. They didn't show up until after midnight, and they worked until about 4:30 in the morning, running new power to the house. So I was taking it. The thing is, nothing was working in the house. Like all the power at the front of the house, all the lights and things were working okay, but everything on the back of the house, which is on a different circuit, wasn't working, which was the leg that was broken. So I didn't have any lights. My hot water heater wasn't working. So it was a rough start to the week, but they got it working. Now I've got these power lines going across the alleyway in my backyard that people drive over every day. So hopefully they get that thing buried. All right, I got to figure out how do you do this? Since you're in a different source.
What do you mean?
No, you're fine. I just have to figure out how to get your video up.
Oh, I'm just trying to get my phone.
I cannot find Mom Cam. We're gonna get this here in a second. Yeah, when you change sources, it resets everything, so your video doesn't pop up. And now I can't find, this sucks. Mom Cam, there it is. Properties. We're going to get this, man. We just do this live all the time. There she is. Oops. God damn it, dude. Here we are. You see, you're still in the bubble, but now you look weird because you're vertical. Is your audio's not working anymore now? We're going to get this working here in a second. Anyway, we got Demun Jones coming up in about 15 or so minutes. I don't know what happened to your audio, Mom. I wanted you to talk about maybe the golf tournament or something. Oh, Jesus. Nothing. Boy, she looks mad. She looks big mad, too. What's up, saying? Hey, welcome, everybody, man. Moose is here. Everybody. David Cunningham's here. Heath just popped in. What's going on, everybody? So, since Mom's not here for context, I'm just going to play it because the golf tournament happened at War Horses for Veterans, and I'm sure there's going to be other posts about it, and you can pay attention to that on the radio page and on the web page for War Horses for Veterans. But Michael Winslow was there, and we talked about that with Carl. Michael Winslow, you may know, he Spaceballs, Police Academy sound effects guy. So he was there just as like a celebrity guest, and he was out there harassing all the golfers, which I completely approve of. So here's a little bit of a video. Oh my gosh! Now this is. I hope Carl can come back on and talk a little bit more about Michael Winslow's contribution to the fundraiser for Back the Heroes Rumble. What's going on, Branko? It was pretty awesome. Are you here?
Am I?
You are. Now I got to redo your thing again. What's up with that?
I'm sorry. Okay. So you did play that clip, right?
I did play that clip.
Oh my God. It was such a blast today hanging out with Michael. I don't even know where to begin. With all the, harassing the golfers and then him doing sounds as they're teeing off. And it was amazing, like just being a little kid watching the Police Academy movies and then watching Spaceballs and thinking like, how on earth does this man make these noises? And then, we just got to hang out with him today. I got to ride around in the golf cart with him today while we, with shenanigans.
That's pretty awesome. It's one of those, it's like a bucket list thing, or it's you can just kind of just go, yeah, I did that.
So earlier you kept saying Carl and War Horses for Veterans.
Did I say I meant Back the Heroes Rumble?
Yes, so it's actually Back the Heroes Rumble. I might be able to get him to go to War Horses for Veterans, but anyhow, Carl kind of just winged it and reached out to his publicist, which in the future here, I got to get a hold of his, his guys, his people, and we're going to, get him on the show. And, it was really cool.
That's pretty amazing.
He's very talented. His family, he comes from a line of veterans. His son is a United States Marine Corps veteran. So his dad was actually a Tuskegee Airman. And it was like, when I found out about this was a couple days ago, Memorial Day. I was down in near Birmingham, Alabama. So Memorial Day, we decided to go to the Tuskegee historical site, Airman historical site, which is, it's one of those things you need to go see. It's nothing big, it's nothing fancy, but it kind of gives you perspective of what these gentlemen had, went through. And we kind of, when you left, it was like you were quiet. I don't know how to explain that. Have you ever gone to a memorial and then afterwards there's nothing you can say?
It's just that experience that you absorb and you take days to process what you just saw.
Yes. And it just wasn't processing, the training they did and all of those things. It was just kind of the process of, and it was just more beyond what they did, but the civil rights movement behind it, and like how these men went and did this. And some of them didn't make it back because they wanted to, prove a point. And they went over fighting, not just a whole, civil rights thing, but a war too. It was just like you were just speechless afterwards. But yeah, so learning that, Michael Sal was a Tuskegee Airman, that was, a neat thing to learn about him. And of course, his son being a veteran. And then, of course, throughout the whole thing, there was, veterans there golfing. There was first responders golfing. I don't know exactly the numbers of how much money was raised today, but it was a good chunk. So we also had he's no longer a pro. I think he's maybe still pro, but he's a very good, I don't even know. I don't do golf terms. I'm not a golfer guy. Sorry. There was a longest drive contest. He is a golf pro. He's a former firefighter, and he's been known for his long drives, and that's pretty cool. So I'm going to try and I'm working on getting him on with the guys on Sunday nights.
You're not talking about Tom. No, Tom Daly's still playing.
No, Tom Daly. His Zach something. I can't remember his best. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I guess your day. I mean, as soon as the sun came up, that's when the first. Did you guys start pretty early?
No. So the whole thing started at noon. But we did start a little bit earlier. There was a putting contest where whoever got the putt like in the hole. There was so basically people signed up for it, and then they would putt, and three of the closest people got to go to the next round, and if they putted and made the hole after so many feet or whatever, they won $10,000.
Hell yeah!
Somebody came this close.
Oh, nah. Well,
Yeah,
good
so-
for them. Good for them.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. And then there was another one. It was a hole in one for the long drive or something like that, where you had a chance to win $1 million. And then somebody got pretty close to that, and I was like, well, darn.
Thing is, at the end of the day, all the insurance companies going,
yeah, probably. And I was like, well, darn, the drinks aren't going to be on him tonight.
no.
But it was a pretty cool experience. If you guys are in the Cincinnati area, this happens pretty much the second Friday of every June. It's a great time. Carl puts on a great event. He always does. And
it's not just the golf thing. He does concerts, and he does car shows, and there's
Yes.
always something. I think about every quarter he's got something going on.
He does. He does. And it's who he is. Yes, so the car show is coming up. That is in August, the first Saturday in August. So if you're in the Cincinnati area, it'll be August 3rd. It's the Back to Heroes Rumble car show. And this year they're honoring 2 fallen police officers. Every year they honor it's either fire, police, it's usually police, fire, and military. So this year it's police. And so with that, basically all the money that is raised, it goes to the families of those fallen. And of course they get to choose where that money gets to go. And then next year will be the first year. He's doing a huge benefit concert. It's not like we're at a bar and it's, you're paying to get in, it's going to be at the Heritage Bank Arena. It's not a huge arena, but it's a good size arena. So if, just kind of, if you go to their Facebook page, follow them on Facebook, you'll learn more about the concert and stuff. And then, of course, Carl will be back on here to talk about that as well.
Oh, of course he will. He's our most returning guest.
He is.
But he's got a lot going on, and his organization does a lot of really, really good things, and that's pretty awesome. Before we go any further, I would like to say that I just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping ahead of schedule. We do have shows 6 nights a week. This week, Ice is going to be out doing things and stuff on Monday and Thursday, so he's not going to be there. Sports Bar is going to be here on Sunday. Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior. He's going to be around. Let me see. We got a guest, and I can't get these pages apart because I do things old school. I like the analog pieces of paper. We're going to have a comic book writer and X-Men legend, Chris Claremont's going to be on with the Pop Culture Warrior this Tuesday. Of course, this is my Friday off, so we got 3 days of no shows. So we're going to have 3 shows this week. Sunday, this Sunday, this Tuesday, and this Wednesday with the Smoke Pit. And also we had D-Day. D-Day was yesterday.
Yes, the 80th anniversary.
Yeah. So yesterday, 80 years ago, on June 6, 1944, the Allies launched the long-anticipated invasion of Normandy, France. Soldiers from the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and other Allied nations faced Hitler's formidable Atlantic Wall as they tried to land on the beaches of Normandy. Nearly a year later, Germany surrendered, and then 4 months after that, Japan surrendered for obvious reasons, and then that was the end of World War II. So World War II began in 1939 with the German invasion of Poland. The United States didn't get involved with the war until December of 1941. World War II ended in September of 1945. So, yeah.
Speaking of Poland, Michael actually is doing a USO tour right now, and he just finished up in Poland, and he was showing some of the historical sites of, where, there's a church. I'm sorry, I'm so tired, guys. Basically what was left was just the front of this church, and they rebuilt it and did the hand painting that was, all the original stuff that was in there by hand. And so he's finished that up. I can't remember where he was going next. But yeah, it was really neat to see the photos that he got to share with us of his tour and the different sites he got to see in Poland.
That's badass, man. Seeing the country. I mean, that's and of course when you go to Poland, you got to see. I mean, the concentration camps and stuff. It's a memorial. It's not a tourist attraction, but lots of people go and see Krakow and things like that. Anyway, next I'm trying to rifle through these because I know Dean's going to be here in a couple minutes. Russian ships in Cuba again. So check this out. 4 Russian ships, including a nuclear... Oh, God. I hate this. Here we go. There we go. 4 Russian ships, including a nuclear-powered submarine, will arrive in Havana next week, Cuban officials said. Citing, this is for historically friendly relations between both nations, as tensions escalate over Western military support of Ukraine in its war against Russia. Cuba's foreign ministry said in a news release that the ships will be in Havana between June 12th and June 17th, noting that none of them will be carrying any nuclear weapons, and they assured that their presence does not represent a threat to the region. The announcement came a day after U.S. officials said that Washington had been tracking the Russian warships and aircraft that were expected to arrive in the Caribbean for a military exercise. They said that the exercise would be a part of the broader Russian response to the U.S. support of Ukraine. It's concerning. And it's concerning because Vladimir Putin said, or he suggested that Moscow could take, quote, asymmetrical steps, end quote, elsewhere in the world to respond to President Joe Biden's decision to allow Ukraine to use U.S.-provided weapons to strike inside Russia. So that's just they're just testing their.
Yeah, it's kind of like a toddler, like
they're testing the boundaries, exactly.
The waters to see how far they can,
Did I get the start of World War II wrong? Musa says it started in 1932. I thought it was 1938 or 9.
I think maybe the tensions kind of started then, possibly.
Possibly, yeah. With
it wasn't like the full-on war, but like kind of like
skirmishes and things and stuff.
Like Hitler was trying to test the boundaries of what he could.
Well, he
sorry.
He got elected in 32. He got elected in 32, or he took power in 32.
Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. And then it just kind of escalated from there.
Yep. So just for full disclosure, that's not Putin's real head. It's supposed to be that, but I thought this would be more fun because he's an ass clown.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying.
It's just crazy how Russia is going through this. They're getting their asses handed to them. I mean, just from a very objective point of view, they're really getting their asses handed to them. They're making they're having small successes, but they're really getting their asses handed to them. And their country is in really rough shape, kind of like ours. But
I think they're probably in more rough shape than we are.
But their government's different. Yes. We can be in rough shape just because there's a lot of disagreement as far as political positions. Over in Russia, if you have a different political position, you get jailed or you get killed.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking also, I mean, a lot of their economics and all that, it's all rough, with all the sanctions and things that have been going on. And isn't a lot of their military equipment like not even it's outdated and
it's old.
It's old.
It's
weathered. Probably older than me.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that you're old. I'm just saying, yeah.
Well, thanks, Koz.
So how was your vacation?
It was fun. It was great. Kind of like it was a nice little getaway, like almost 2-week getaway. So we went to Alabama, then to Arkansas, then back to Alabama. We didn't make it to Florida. I just got tired of being in the car. And we had other things to do. So instead of going to Florida, we went to the Barber Motorsports Museum. So if you're in the Birmingham area, you got to check it out. I don't know if you saw my pictures or not, I almost called you Carl, Koz. There's 5 floors of motorcycles and Formula One cars, and it was pretty badass.
That is kind of badass. I like
And
that.
then,
I'll be spending some time in, well, it's going to be outside of Birmingham, but
you should go. You need to check it out. Like, what? I mean, you probably tell me later offline when you'll be there.
yeah.
Yeah, that way, if I'm there, we can hang out. But then, of course, Tuskegee is probably about an hour and a half from Birmingham.
You know what?
So,
Dallas is about an hour from Dallas, so I don't mind driving an hour.
yeah, I know. So that's worth the drive. I think I plan on going there again in July. So the next place I want to go to is Selma, Alabama.
Okay.
And then it was a good, like, that motorsports museum was like phenomenal. It was great.
That's
Little Man loved
badass.
it.
That's a whole lot of badass right there. How did Little Man hang in there?
Oh, he loved it. Like, him and Todd and our friend Steve, they were just like, like. And then what was really
But
cool,
they're guys, so they do the.
Well, yeah. And what was really cool is there was a practice racetrack behind. So like a Formula One racetrack.
Oh.
And you could actually go across the racetrack, watch them practice, and they had motorcycles practicing that day. And that was pretty cool.
Oh, it's a legit track. It's not like a miniature.
track.
Okay, what I was thinking you were going to go, or where I thought you were going to go was like they had go-karts, so everyone was driving go-karts on this Formula One track.
I mean, that would be pretty cool.
I mean, pretty nice. He says that he's only about 2 hours away from Birmingham.
Oh, I guess we'll have to.
Do we see a meetup here in the future?
Yeah, that'll be fun. So, oh crap! I know if I exit out of this, you will lose me.
I don't want to lose you.
Aww.
You need a computer.
I do have a computer. It just decided it did not want to work.
That was another thing. I thought I had fried my computer because this is before I knew that I had actual power issues. So with just 120 volts coming into the house, that's not enough current to power everything. So I had before I'd gone to bed and the power issues started happening, I can hear my I've got an ups. There she goes. She just left. I have an ups.
Sorry.
I have an ups in my computer room, and it was clicking and clicking and clicking, and the alarms were going off. And so I thought that we had some pretty bad thunderstorms that Sunday night, and so I was thinking that maybe I fried my power supply.
Oh.
So.
That would not be cool.
I'm glad it was what it was. It wasn't my problem. It was the city's problem. She's back.
I know this.
See, now your audio sounds really good.
Does it really?
It does. Well, it sounds a lot better.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what. Like, all of a sudden, my webcam, whatever, it just stopped working. Like, it wouldn't. Then it wouldn't let me enter back in the green room or nothing.
Tech issues, man. It's just it plagues Friday Night Freedom. Oh, my Friday Night Freedom. I don't think Red Leg ever had this many issues.
I mean, Red Leg was like, he's the god of WTF Nation Radio.
He is. He absolutely is.
Oh, he says his team races at Barber a lot. That's pretty cool. Oh, and we took a little man. We took him to a dirt track race for the first time.
Those are fun. I remember going to dirt track races when I was a kid. We had a dirt track when I grew up in Illinois, in the Chicago area. So we had.
They had 91 cars that night.
Dude, on a track at the same time?
No.
Oh, God. I'm like,
I don't even think there was enough room on this track to fit them all. But just trying to get through the qualification, it took like hours. But when they would crash, he would sit there and he'd be like, "That's not good."
Little man said that?
Yeah, he's like,
that's not good.
Like, just real dramatic, like, that's not good.
I hope he's okay. That'll buff out. That's what you gotta. That'll buff out.
I do need to teach him that. Yeah, that'll buff out. But you know what? If I do that, what's going to happen? He's going to turn around and use it on me. So when something breaks around the house.
Oh my gosh, right? Or if you hurt yourself, that'll buff out. Walk it off, Mom.
Because he would say that, like just to be a smart ass.
Right. Well, he doesn't know any better. I mean, that's kind of funny.
I mean, I might as well, teach him while he's young.
Okay, so what? It is the top of the hour. Let me take a short break, and we're going to try to get Demun on for the second half of Friday Night Freedom.
All right.
This will be a short break. Short break, about 3 minutes. So don't go anywhere. Get up, walk around, grab a new beverage, use the bathroom, do what you got to do. But be back here in just a couple minutes, and we shall return shortly. Shots.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
A little bit of Michael Winslow to intro the second half of WTF Nation Radio's presentation of Friday Night Freedom.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Okay. It's not frozen, am I?
All right, we're back for the second half. Thank you for hanging out. Demon's not here. Maybe we're going to have to reschedule him, which is cool.
I mean, That's a big deal.
Yeah, he just came off a long stint of shows. He's got a small break. Kids are on summer break, so I completely understand. Welcome back anytime, man. If he shows up, great. If he doesn't, that's fine too. So, Mom and I were talking during the break, and about Tuskegee and the Tuskegee Airmen, and I mentioned that when I hear Tuskegee, the first thing that comes to my mind is the fucking syphilis experiments that the United States did on the black soldiers at that base, and it's disgusting.
It is. Like, you were just like you. I think that's the biggest reason why when we left, we were just speechless. Just there was nothing you could say to even. You're just like basically you're just like, we couldn't believe our own government did this, but you can believe that our own government did it, you know? Well,
and even before that, there was the fucking blankets with the Indians and smallpox. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was different times, and we've changed as a nation since then. But have we, or has it just changed? Has it just morphed into something else?
I would like to say, I would hope that it's changed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's stuff going on that we don't know about. I hope there's not, but yeah, like you said, with the whole Tuskegee Airmen and the syphilis thing, and these men just, they bared with it and just kept going.
And they kicked ass.
Yeah, and they did. And I think the biggest thing is nobody expected them to.
It's like fucking underestimate me now, you know?
Right? Like the underdogs, which is...
Did Michael talk? Did Michael talk anything about his dad?
A little bit. He didn't really go into detail. He just, brought up, it's like, I learned that your dad was was a Tuskegee Airman, and he talked a little bit about it, and he wasn't really, much on it. So I didn't push it.
Right. And, from that time period, I mean, I guess those soldiers wouldn't, yeah, I was a Tuskegee Airman, and then talk about it to, so, that's not family conversation.
No. And of course, we don't know exactly what his dad's been through. And I'm pretty sure as a child, that could have been traumatizing as well to hear those stories, even if they opened up about them.
Right.
So basically, I just wasn't going to push those buttons, or open those doors or anything like that. I mean, there's a possibility when he comes on, he might talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's up to him. I think there was something else he had mentioned. Steve McQueen was in the movie. I can't think of it. It was over there in Poland. My brain is just done for the day.
You've got a lot going on. I understand the brain fry.
So I think he's going to work. He mentioned something about working on a documentary. And I don't know if that's going to include about his dad's time in service or not.
That's badass. Hell yes.
So hopefully, once he really does decide to do it, he does, we'll have him on. I mean, we'll help promote, the shit out of it. But yeah, so we just really didn't go into detail with that.
So what's your next adventure?
My next adventure?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to Nashville in 2 weeks for my birthday.
My brother and his wife want to retire because they're both of my brothers are getting to that age where they're really looking at kids in college. They're gonna retire and do things. One of my brothers wants to do Nashville for retirement, and my other brother, my older younger brother, he bought a house down in Orlando. It's just south of Orlando.
Okay.
In a freaking 55 and older gated community and shit. I'm just like,
But if you want to go to Florida College, you got a couch to crash on.
Yeah, but I don't want to go to Florida. I love Texas, and I like to go visit my family wherever they are. But Florida. I mean, my brother's in Florida. I'll go visit my brother in Florida, but that would be my only draw to Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not a beach guy. I'm a mountain guy. A lot of people, they'll say, hey, if you want to retire somewhere, you want to be on a beach, you want to be in the mountains. And I'd rather be in the mountains than on a beach.
See, I love heat. I love the warm weather. I prefer to be in the South.
And that's exactly why my parents didn't. Both my mom and dad have been retired for a long time, and they were looking at retiring somewhere in the South. They're looking at Gulf Shores or somewhere in the Panhandle in Florida, and they came down and then drove through and then saw a bunch of properties and things, and they're just like, it's just too oppressively hot. Because their goal was to go where they were going to choose to retire at the worst possible time, and that was like that's the heat of the summer, and they're just like, this is too much.
See, I guess if you want to retire, I mean, you know what to expect in Montana.
So they stayed up. They're up in Wisconsin, so they're like, it's like the opposite of Gulf Shores.
So did they like not? I know. I mean, some people can afford it. I mean, I have friends and know people. Their winter home is in the South, and they come up here for the summer.
Not my parents.
Gotcha.
They're happy where they're at, and they're close to where the family is. I mean, I'm the guy. I'm the son that had enough escape velocity to leave Chicago when we were all growing up. I was the guy that got out. Both of my brothers, they stayed in the Chicago area forever. They went to college, they came back, and they just stayed. They just put down roots there. I couldn't get away. And it wasn't because of my family. It's just I hated the area. I just hated it. My life was going nowhere, and that's why I joined the military. And
I mean, that's one way to get away.
And that's just it was awesome. I have no regrets at all. It was the best decision of my life.
Yes, yeah. So basically, I'm going to Nashville for like birthday weekend, and then I have never stayed in Nashville. I've always driven through it. I mean, I don't know how many times I've drove through Nashville, and the cicadas are bad there, by the way, right now.
I saw videos, and I think this was it might have been Kentucky, it might have been in Ohio, but people, I mean, like cicadas that dry up and they're on the trees and shit, they knock them off the trees, and they're like with coal shovels, the husks of all of these cicadas. Because it was a double brood. There was like a 7-year brood and an 11-year brood that came up at the same time. So there's a whole bunch of them.
There's hardly any. And then I'm driving through Nashville. At first, I was thinking stuff was hitting my windshield and it's splattering. I thought it was a bird taking a giant shit on my car. And it's like cicadas like kamikazing into my windshield.
Oh God.
And then the traffic would slow down because there was an accident. And of course, I'm trying to, get over lanes, and they're just flying, like just swarming. And it was crazy. That was probably why there was traffic, was all these damn cicadas.
And they're big too, man. They're big. I think I haven't heard normally about this part of time. And my daughter put it perfectly. She said, she was talking about the sound of cicadas. And her words were, quote, that's what the sound of heat is. Because they always come out and it's just hot as balls outside. And then you hear those cicadas in the background. That's just, she associates that sound with hot as balls.
See, I don't know. Cicadas, the noise never bothered me. To me, it was always kind of relaxing in a way.
Yeah, I can see that. But dude, they're fucking loud.
They are.
And then you get a million of them doing it at the same time, and you're like, rawr.
Yeah. I just want to find a couple so I could just throw them on COVID Carl. See what he would do.
It's really cool because over your shoulder, Richard's cleaning himself.
Oh, hi, Richard.
Is that his name? Is that his real name? Or is that what you call him?
It's kind of what we have to call him because I originally named him Dick Face, and the little man was going around calling everybody Dick. So Richard, it's kind of, the thing. Just call him Richard, because if you look at his face close, he's got, the
color.
The color, the shape on his face of a dick. And when somebody around town, they had these kittens and they needed to be adopted, and I saw his picture and I was like, that one is mine. That is my cat. He's been an awesome cat. He's just very chill, laid back. He's just like, hey guys, check me out.
Thanks for the house.
He doesn't even get up on the counters. I mean, he's kind of too fat right now. He's super spoiled. Yeah, he's just pretty laid back.
That's cool. I'd love cats. I just can't be anywhere near them.
I'm sorry, Koz. And the funniest thing about him is so I live in an apartment. I live on the second floor, and in the window I have a bird feeder. It's attached, and you can just, the birds come in, and he sits. It's in my bedroom window, and he sits on my bed and he watches these birds, and he does, the little butt wiggle, and sometimes
he's like, I'm a cat. The I'm a cat thing.
Yeah, and sometimes he does that little noise that cats make, and for whatever reason, his dumbass always forgets that there's this magical force field between him and the birds.
It's called a window.
Yeah, and he does his thing, and it's and he does it all every single day.
He hasn't learned.
No.
It'll be different this time.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's hoping the window will just come open and he can.
So he says Fairhope, Alabama, and Scottsdale, Arizona are the best retirement cities. Yeah, my mom and dad looked at Prescott, Arizona, and I was beyond their price point. I have an aunt and uncle. My uncle, he was a aviator during Vietnam. He flew Loaches, and worked for Sikorsky. He's retired now, but he had a whole lot of health issues. So they live in Scottsdale, and it's perfect for them. The weather is, and he moved from Cleveland, Avon Lake area down to Scottsdale, and he's doing really well down there.
That's
because
good.
of the weather. It's because of the weather. It's just very fair, low humidity, all the things that he needed.
Better than where'd you guys go? Phoenix?
Oh, dude, fuck Phoenix. It's really Phoenix is nice. It's pretty. It's cool. It's a good place to visit. But dude, at Easter, it was Easter time when we went there for the award ceremony for Best Warfighter Radio, and Andy was there. She was our handler. She picked us up from the airport. She took us to our hotel, and everywhere that we needed to be, she was there. She was awesome. But dude, it was Easter time, and it was 1,000 fucking degrees outside, and the sun was just beating down, and it was I couldn't handle that. Oh, it's a dry heat. I don't care. But but here I am in the Dallas Fort Worth area where it's 106, 110 in August or September. But it's not that humid. It's not like Houston. Houston is, you need scuba gear to walk down the street. It's so humid down there.
Alabama was that way when we were down there. It was just when you breathe, you're like, ugh.
And it's just, it doesn't matter what you might spend an hour getting ready and you look perfect in the house, and you walk outside and your hair goes.
Yeah, or your makeup. You dumbass.
Were you talking to little man or the cat?
The cat.
Okay. Felipe Castang says, hello, Poppy.
Ooh. Poppy. He's calling you Poppy.
It says, hello, Poppy at... Oh. Hello, Poppy at Mommy means probably hello, Mom and Dad. Yeah, damn humidity. Thanks, Sin.
Back to the. So I mean, you're gonna be pretty much on fire in August there in Dallas. Now you guys are just kind of get past the tornadoes.
Yeah, we had a lot. I mean, just nationwide, I think there was what was the? I'm going to look this up because I made a post on my Facebook. Did you see that?
No, I think I might have missed it. But like in Ohio, I think for a second there, we were leading in the amount of tornadoes in the country. We actually just had one a few nights ago when all those storms went through. I mean, most of them been hitting up towards near the Dayton area. For whatever reason here in Cincinnati, I mean, we get, some here and there, but it just seems like the 275 belt is like the storms come in and they just kind of
then it kind of splits off.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it's like a magical force field of glass
Yeah, there was like several hundred. I can't find the graphic right now, but there was like it just had the dots around the United States for all the confirmed tornadoes from EF0 to EF5.
Oh yes, I saw that one. Yes.
That's crazy because there was several hundred confirmed tornadoes from, and it started off about El Paso, just a little bit east of El Paso, all the way to the East Coast is where all of them are. And it's been a very active year. Last year was pretty quiet. We got really dry and really hot like at the end of March, and it was a pretty brutal summer last year.
They're predicting that it's going to be a very active hurricane season too.
They kind of do that every year. What I would like to do is
we'll see.
In here, Pop Culture Warriors here, he said he had a tornado hit not far from me in Gaithersburg, Maryland. So, Maryland's not one of those states where you're like, tornadoes. It happens.
It's not as often as here or there.
And as far as the dry heat goes, I don't mind it being a dry heat. I mean, when I was in Iraq, it was a dry heat. It was 120 during the day, and it would get down to whatever it was at night. But there was no humidity, which it made it bearable. It made it bearable. Well, even in northern Iraq where I was.
When I was in Fort Bliss, I mean, it didn't bother me at all.
Well, yeah, you guys had altitude, though. You guys were up at about 7,000, 5,000 feet? 5,000 feet.
Yeah, around 5,000. And then, I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I think the difference is like there, when it's a dry heat, you're in the sun, it's 110. If you go in the shade, it does feel cooler. Like it feels, whatever, how much cooler. But with the humidity, when it's hot, it doesn't matter where you go outside.
It's like you're in a convection oven.
Yeah, it's just you're in the.
But here we are. We're a couple of weeks from official summertime. So, yeah.
I know, right? They just need to make the first day of spring just the first day of summer.
So I'm right, especially down here. Spring. Just like here it is. You have two seasons. It's either hot as balls or cold as shit.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna be how cold it's going to be this winter. I mean,
we'll see. I mean, every year, the National Weather Service comes out with this is going to be a super active season, but I don't remember them ever saying this is going to it's always doom and gloom. Doom and gloom sells. No one wants to hear, you're going to be fine. It's going to be a pretty calm season. Everything's all, you be on the lookout for hurricanes and stuff. So, it'd be interesting to see, because there was a couple of years ago, the National Weather Service came out and said, this is going to be just a really crappy, hurricane season. And there was like two or three that made landfall. I'm not saying that there wasn't hurricanes. It's just like there was only 2 or 3 that made landfall.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? They might claim it is a very active season, and maybe a lot of them don't make landfall. They just kind of,
A very active season doesn't necessarily mean that, cities are going to get decimated. It might be, there's a lot of hurricanes out there. They don't necessarily have to make landfall.
Yes.
That's a really good point.
So we might get lucky. We might not.
All right, man. I think we're going to wrap this up.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
I really hope Demun Jones has to reschedule or chooses to reschedule. So call your buddy and see if we can get him back on for some other show some other time.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So thanks for doing that stuff. I mean, you do a lot of stuff for Back the Heroes Rumble, not War Horses for Veterans.
Yes.
Back the Heroes Rumble. This was the golf classic, and this was Michael Winslow, who's just awesome.
It was so much fun. Like, this is probably like one of the best days I've ever had in my life, just hanging out with him.
So thanks for doing that. I'm glad it was very successful. I'm really glad that the weather held out for you. I mean,
it was windy.
It was like a perfect.
It was really windy.
It was windy, but it didn't rain.
No, but it wasn't hot. It wasn't humid. It was just the temperature. It was perfect.
So we've got shows 6 nights a week. Monday's the Monday edition. Tuesday's Pop Culture Warrior. This week we're going to have comic book writer and X-Men legend Chris Claremont's going to be on with CQ. Smoke Pit's going to come on Wednesday. Thursday, Sergeant's Time with Ice and Spanky. But she's on vacation too because this is summertime. Friday Night Freedom with Koz and Mom and that lady.
That lady.
Did you like that? With that?
I was cracking up laughing.
That's pretty funny. And I don't dick with AI at all. I just thought it was funny. So I did that.
Hi, this is President Joe Biden, and you're listening to Friday Night Freedom with Koz and that lady.
I loved that. I was playing around with it. That was the first time I had ever messed with anything AI. So maybe I'll do one with President Trump or maybe George W. or somebody else. I don't know. It's kind of fun to mess around with. Anyway, this week we are going to have a little bit of a change of schedule because Ice is going to be out this week taking care of some business. So Monday and Thursday are off the schedule, and this is my off Friday. So Friday is going to be off the schedule. So the only 3 shows we're going to have are this Sunday with the Sports Bar, Tuesday with Pop Culture Warrior with guest Chris Claremont, and the Smoke Pit on Wednesday. I thank you very much for hanging out here. You got any parting words, Mom?
You always do. I should have a parting word.
You said you were going to hear something.
Just, I don't know. Just, fuck. Good night, guys.
Okay, I apologize. I apologize that Demun Jones was not available this evening. Things come up. We'll figure out what happened, and we're going to get him back on the schedule because I think he would be an excellent guest.
Oh, I think so too.
He was one of the artists that were on that was on the Patriots Fest in Aurora, Illinois, and he wasn't going to be able to be on before Patriots Fest, which occurred on May 18th. So maybe we're going to do like an after action review and to see how things went, and that I'll bet it was awesome. I'll bet it was awesome.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay, everybody, you guys have a safe and happy weekend, and we'll see you back here on Sunday for. Say again.
I was like, it came to me. Don't do anything you have to explain to the paramedics.
Right, like you fell on that shampoo bottle in the shower.
Yeah, sorry. It just kind of like ADHD. Sorry, cuz just like I gotta get it out.
All right.
Love you, brother.
Oh, I love you back. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Love ya. Take care. Shots.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular upon her singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
This is WTF Nation Radio.